Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Historyland. This is Josh, speaking to you through the magic of modern technology. I would have done this video as a face-to-face, but turns out I didn't have enough time to factor the filming of that in, and by the time I would have been able to do it, the reason for this video would have lost its impetus, I think. So, before I start with the video, which will be me speaking and some choice pictures rolling by for your entertainment for the next couple of minutes, I'd just like to thank all of you who have supported this channel since I started it. It's at this moment up to a whopping 31 people, and I'm not kidding when I say how much it humbles me that people want to come and subscribe and like and put up with me talking as well as me writing on the website and stuff like that. So thanks everybody. And so down to the reason for this video. Well, last week I was scrolling through Twitter, as you do, and I saw a lot of references to the new Assassin's Creed game that was coming out. I don't actually play Assassin's Creed. It's a role-playing game, and I'm more of a RTS guy when I do the gaming gig. But I saw that it seemed to be based in ancient Egypt, and anything that has a historical basis in it catches my attention, so I googled it and found out that indeed it is based during the time of the Ptolemies, specifically Cleopatra, and the rise of Rome, and all that sort of juicy stuff, and that the main protagonist seems to be a guy called Bayek, and he's obviously out doing assassin-y things, but he's doing them as a Medjay, or as the Assassin's Creed developers decided to call it Medjai. And I thought to myself, how many people know what a Medjay / Medjai was historically? And so we have the basis for this video. What is a Medjay? To clarify, to begin with, when I use the word Medjay, I'm referring to the historical use of the word, or the most common historical use of the word, and if I happen to use the word Medjai, I'm usually talking in the context of the video game. So, just in addition to that, I think I should probably mention, I think it might be wise to mention that I'm not critiquing the game in any way. I've not played it. As I said, it's not my kind of game. I'm just talking about a facet of its release, essentially, of its background, of what it's been, of its background that has been revealed to those of us who have not played it and aren't enjoying the simulated mayhem as we speak. So what is a Medjay? No, it's not a date. That's Medjool. This is a completely different thing. They're just silly. But they do sound similar. Now, the Medjay were Lower Nubian people who lived on the border of Upper Egypt, a land where the deserts were harsh and the herds were rich. They're depicted as being typically Nubian in their appearance, with long patterned or hide belts and wraparound kilts, and short, plaited or dreaded hair, often decorated with ostrich feathers. They were a tribal people who were used extensively as mercenaries in the armies of the late Old Kingdom. The governors of Upper Egypt reported high recruitment levels of southern mercenaries. and it's indicated that they formed a large part of these southern frontier armies in this period. Nubians, and especially what were called the Nubians of Medjay, were valued for their skill at arms by the Egyptians over and above other Nubian people. Egypt's recruiters never had to look far for men, so mercenaries like the Medjay were primarily hired as specialists, operating in ways that the regular Nile militias did not. Later, they were still being deployed in large numbers by King Kamos in the campaigns of his third regnal year, though there is some indication that the mercenaries might be trained to fight like Egyptian heavy infantry. In the Old and Middle periods, they were scouts, raiders, and skirmishers, using a variety of clubs, daggers, javelins, simple cowhide shields, and especially bows. Apparently, Nubians excelled in the use of the bow. In the New Kingdom, the Medjay were mercenaries, but as time went on, perhaps as a reward or reaction for their service in defense of Thebes, from where the New Kingdom pharaohs traced their legitimacy, the term Medjay began to designate the special necropolis police of the city. It wasn't uncommon for dynasties to recruit elite squads of foreign mercenaries to serve as regular and elite corps. These were literally, therefore, the guardians of the Valley of the Kings, and the men responsible for patrolling the surrounding desert routes around the city. Because by this time Nubia had largely been culturally assimilated into Egypt, the Medjay Guard were no longer tribal levies, but drawn from recruiting centers across the two lands. They were now organized in companies under an officer named the Heri Medjay, who answered to an official commander traditionally named Chief of the Medjay. Probably this was a throwback to the days when chiefs would command mercenary companies, and they were still principally utilized as archers. So, in looking up that little snapshot of these incredibly, obviously incredibly skilled warriors, I was quite impressed that the developers of the game seem to have chosen such an original background for their character. This kind of quasi-policeman, I'm sure he's not quite doing all the official things he should be doing, guarding the Valley of the Kings in a game called Assassin's Creed. But if any of you guys were out there playing it and wanted to know, what is a Medjay? What does it mean? What does it mean to be one? I hope this video has helped you. This has been Josh at Historyland. Hope to see you all again soon, and thanks for tuning in.